Okay, good day. So let's have this example. For example, we have this cantilever beam loaded as shown, and we are required to compute for the maximum bending stress. And also, we are required to use this beam, which is a wide flange, that is the W14 by 30. So this is an example of a wide flange. If we say wide flange, compared to an I-beam, it has a thicker web and a thicker flange. So it's more of a rotated H rather than an I. So more of this, more about wide flange on your steel design. So since we are required to compute for the maximum bending stress, we need to compute for the maximum moment. So for this beam, to start our solution, let us compute for the support reaction. Since this is a fixed support, we have one vertical reaction that is at C, and a moment reaction at C for a fixed support. I'll be assuming that it is a clockwise moment. Let's say this is the moment at C. Computing for the support reactions, summation forces vertical equal to 0, assuming upward forces to be positive. Basically, we have the equivalent of R sub C is the concentrated load at A. That is R sub C. The reaction at C is equal to, that is the same as 5,000 pounds, and it is upward. For the moment at C, we may do the summation of moment at C equal to 0, clockwise moments to be positive. So we have an applied moment, 25,000 pounds-foot, that is positive since it is clockwise. So you have positive 25,000, less the concentrated load 5,000, that is multiplied by 6 feet from A. Then the moment reaction MC is clockwise, that will be assumed to be positive. MC, and is now equal to 0. So we have the moment at C is now equal to, we have that as 25,000, less 5,000, this is multiplied by 6. That is negative 5,000, then to be transposed, that will be positive 5,000. Positive 5,000 pounds a foot. So we have a correct assumption. This moment is clockwise. The moment at C is a clockwise 5,000 pounds foot. And we have the reaction at C. It is upward 5,000 pounds. So we are now ready for the shear and moment diagram. So starting on our shear diagram, starting at A, so starting at 0, we have 5,000 pounds downwards, so we go down. A magnitude of, let's say, negative 5,000. As you can see, we don't have a shear from A to C. So what we have to do is, we maintain this magnitude of shear, 5,000. That is 5,000 from A to point C. Or that is negative 5,000. So we have negative 5,000 pounds. Then we have, at C, we have a vertical reaction of 5,000 pounds upwards. So that will give us a value of 0. This is for our the shear diagram. So for the moment diagram, we may use the area of the shear diagram for the computation of the moments. So starting at point A, so basically the moment at A is equal to 0 since there is a free end. If you are to compute for the moment at B, that is equal to the moment at A plus the area of the shear diagram for the segment AB. We will be having the moment at B is now equal to, moment at A is 0, that is basically negative 5,000 pounds for a length of 3 feet. So we have the moment at B is obviously this negative 15,000, negative 15,000 pounds foot. So negative 15,000 pounds foot. So starting at A, this is 0. Okay, that is 0 to negative 15,000 pounds foot. Okay, but as you can see on our beam, we have an applied moment of 25,000 pounds foot, that is clockwise moment, a positive moment. And by the way, the degree of our shear diagram is 0 degree, so that's why our moment diagram should be first degree. So let's say another moment at point B. This time, let's say we have the moment at B prime is equal to, that is the moment at B prime plus the applied moment, that is 25,000 pounds foot. That is positive since it is a clockwise moment. So we have the moment at B prime, or this is supposedly moment at B, is equal to, the previous moment is negative 15,000 plus 25,000. So we'll be having the moment B prime is now equal to, that is positive 10,000 pounds foot. Alright, so on our moment diagram, from negative 15,000, we go up. We go up to 10,000 pounds foot. And it is positive. So negative 15,000. This is now positive 10,000. Alright, then again for the segment BC, I will be having a negative shear. So let us compute for the moment at C. So this is for the moment at C is equal to the moment B prime, our previous value of moment, plus the area of the shear diagram for the segment B to C. So this is now the moment at C is now equal to moment at B prime is positive 10,000. Plus the area of the shear diagram for segment B to C, that is negative 5,000 for a length of 3 feet. So obviously we'll be having, that is the same as 10,000. This is 10,000 minus 15,000. That will give us a value of negative 5,000 pounds foot. That will be the moment at C. So on our diagram, that is from 10,000 pounds foot to negative, so this is to negative 5,000, negative 5,000 pounds foot. So this is negative 5,000. But if we are to check on our beam, what is the moment reaction at C? What is the moment reaction at C? That is 5,000 pounds foot. It is clockwise and it is positive. We do the summation. Positive 5,000 plus negative 5,000, that is 0. This is for our the moment diagram. Basically, the purpose of our moment diagram is to determine our maximum moment that will give the maximum bending stress. So if we are to observe our moment diagram, our maximum moment, let's say this is M max, is equal to negative 15,000. By the way, for this is negative 15,000 pounds, pounds foot. So for a regular beam, this is a regular beam, a wide flange beam. Take note that the bending stress in tension is basically equal to the bending stress in compression. So we may use the absolute value of this moment in computing the maximum bending stress. Again, we are to use this beam, the wide flange, W14 by 30. So we'll be having this list of the properties of the different examples of wide flanges. So usually this is provided by the manufacturer. So we are to use the W14 by 30. So W14, this is W14 by 30. So we'll be needing the value of its section modulus. The section modulus of W14 by 30 is, that is 42 inches raised to 3. So, this is for the W 14 by 30. We have the section modulus is equal to 42 inches raised to 3. So how do we compute for the maximum bending stress? That is the F sub B, or we can use it as a sigma is equal to the moment, okay, multiplied by C. This is divided by the moment of inertia. Okay, but basically we have the section modulus is equal to the moment of inertia divided by C. So we can compute for the equivalent of the bending stress as the maximum moment. If we are computing for the maximum bending stress, this is the maximum moment divided by the section modulus. Okay, so we are now to compute for the maximum bending stress, F sub B. What is our maximum moment? I'll be using the absolute value of the maximum moment. That is the 15,000 pounds-foot. So this value is equal for both compression and tension. That is divided by the section modulus. What is the section modulus for W14 by 30? That is, we have 42 inches raised to 3. So for consistency of units, we have to multiply this one with 12 inches is to 1 foot. I just want to cancel this unit. By computing for that value, we have that as 15,000 multiplied by 12. This is divided by 42. So we have that as 4,285.714. So let's say we have the maximum bending stress. Let's say F sub B max. This is again for both compression and tension. Okay, 4,285 is 4,285.714. If we are to observe the remaining units, pounds, we are to cancel inches. So this is square inches on the denominator. This is the same as the PSI, the pounds per square inch. So this will be our solution. Okay, so let's have this example. For example, we have a simple span AB loaded as shown, okay, with an allowable bending stress, or that is the same as the working bending stress of 120 megapascals. So we are using capital letter F for allowable values. So we are required to determine the lightest wide flange that can carry the given loading in addition to the weight of the beam. So based on the provided data, our basis will be, we need to determine if the section modulus of the section is capable of carrying the given load. And also, since we are looking for the lightest wide flange, we need to consider the mass of the beam. So we'll be having two parts of the analysis. The first part is that we are to consider this concentrated load. Okay, then later on, we are to add the weight of the beam. Okay, so that will be the two parts of the analysis. So starting on the concentrated load, okay, let us compute for the support reactions. So let's say we have R sub B and the R sub A. So I'll be using the area of the shear and moment, shear diagram and the moment diagram for the computation of the maximum moment. So starting with the summation of moments at A. This is the summation moments at A equal to 0, assuming clockwise moments to be positive. So we'll be having that is 45 multiplied by 4 meters, minus the reaction at B. This is multiplied by 6 is now equal to 0. So we have the reaction at B is now equal to, that is the same as 45 multiplied by 4, to be divided by 6. So we have that 30. So this is 30 kilonewtons. For the computation of the reaction at A, this is summation of forces vertical equal to 0, upward forces to be positive. we have RA plus RB, that is 30 kilonewtons, minus 45 is equal to 0. So basically, RA is equal to 15. This is 15 kilonewtons. For the shear and moment diagram, actually you can do the cut section. You can cut this section, the location of the concentrated load. At this point, the maximum moment will occur. But for this one, I'll be using, again, the area of the shear diagram for the computation of the magnitude of the moments. So we have RA is equal to 15 kilonewtons, and R sub B is equal to 30 kilonewtons. So starting on the left end of the beam, this is starting at 0, we have at A, that is an upward support reaction of 15 kilonewtons. So from 0 to 15 kilonewtons. If you are to observe on our beam, we don't have a load from A to the support to the concentrated load. So we are to maintain this value of 15 kilonewtons up to the point of the concentrated load. So this is 15 kilonewtons. Then we do the summation. This is positive 15, and this is a downward load, 45 kilonewtons. Obviously, that will give us a value of negative 30. So that is 15 minus 45 is, this is negative 30 kilonewtons. On our beam, from the concentrated load to point B, we don't have a load. So we are to maintain this value. This is negative 30 kilonewtons up to point B. Then at point B, we have an upward reaction of 30 kilonewtons. So we do the summation. So 30 minus 30, that is 0. So this is for our shear diagram. So our shear diagram is a 0-degree graph. So we have 0-degree graph for the shear diagram. So more likely on our moment diagram, we'll be having a first degree. So how do we compute? Basically, again, the maximum moment will occur under this concentrated load. So we are to introduce a new point. Let's say this is point C. How do you compute for that? That is the same as the area of the shear diagram. So basically, we have the moment at A is equal to 0, since that is a simple support. Let us compute for the moment at C, that is the moment at A, plus the area of the shear diagram, that is from A to, for the segment A to C. Alright, so we have the moment at C is now equal to the moment at A is 0. That is a rectangular area, that is basically 15 multiplied by 4. And this is equal to 60 kilonewton meter. Most probably, this is our maximum, the maximum moment, since that is the only point wherein we have the value of shear is equal to 0 for the entire span of the beam. So that is 60 kilonewton meter is starting at 0 at A. So 0 at A to 60 kilonewton meter at, this is at point C. So we have a magnitude of 60 kilonewton meter. Now, so if we are to determine the moment at B, that is obviously equal to 0, since that is a roller support. The moment at B is equal to the moment at C plus the area of the shear diagram from, this is from C to B. So our previous moment is positive 60, that is a negative area, minus, that is plus, we have negative 30 for a length of 2 meters. This is 0. And also it is a first degree graph. So this is 0. This is for our moment diagram. The degree of the graph is equal to first. It is a first degree graph. So based on our moment diagram, obviously, our maximum moment is 60 kilonewtons. It is 60 kilonewton meter. So we have Mmax. The maximum moment is equal to 60 kilonewton meter. Okay, how do we compute for the bending stress? So we have the allowable bending stress is equal to the moment multiplied by C divided by I. This is divided by the moment of inertia, or that is the same as the moment. This is divided by the section modulus. So what will be the required section modulus for a moment of 60 kilonewton meter if the beam has an allowable bending stress of 120 megapascals? So we have the allowable bending stress is 120 megapascals. This is the same as newtons per square millimeter, equal to the moment is 60 kilonewton a meter. So we are just to convert some units. This is 1000 newtons is to 1 kilonewton. This is multiplied by, we have 1000 millimeters is to 1 meter. So this is divided by to be divided by the required section modulus. So we'll be having the required section modulus equal to, so this is the same as 60 multiplied by 1000 for the kilonewton, another 1000 for the meter. So this is 1000 squared divided by the 120. So we have that as 500. The required section modulus is 500 times 10 raised to 3. If you are to do unit analysis, cancelling kilonewton, cancelling newtons, cancelling meter. So mm squared multiplied by mm, basically this is section modulus. It should be expressed with the unit of mm cubed. So the required section modulus for a moment of 60 kilonewton meter and an allowable bending stress of 120 megapascals is 500 times 10 raised to 3 millimeters cubed. If you are to observe our options, all of them are greater than 500. Okay, so all of them are greater than 500 times 10 raised to 3. So when it comes to section modulus, we can use these three sections. But again, the required on this problem, we are looking for the lightest. So the lightest is with this mass of 38.7. Okay, so therefore we may conclude that we are to use the W 310 by 38.7. This is our wide flange. Okay, so we are now to reconsider what will be the total weight to be carried by the beam, including its self-weight. Okay, so let's say that will be a uniformly distributed load. This is for the self-weight of the beam. We have the self-weight is, this is 38.7 kilograms per meter. All you have to do is convert this one to kilonewtons. So this is multiplied by, we have 9.81 newtons is to 1 kilogram. Then multiplying with 1 kilonewton is to 1000 newtons. So what will be the self-weight of the beam? Take note, this is the self-weight of the beam. We need to consider this one. The rest, we have 38.7 multiplied by 9.81 newtons is 1 kilogram multiplied by 1 kilonewton, or that's the same as 1 over 1000. So 1 kilonewton is to 1000 newtons. So we have that as 0.379647, or maybe we can use 0.38 kilonewton per meter. So we are just to add this one as an additional load on our beam. And if we need to check if we are not to exceed the allowable bending stress. Okay, so to continue our analysis, we have now this beam. We are now using this beam. The W310 by 38.7 with a section modulus of 547 times 10 raised to 3, millimeters raised to 3. And the allowable bending stress is 120 megapascals. So take note, we are now considering the self-weight of the beam, the 0.38 kilonewtons per meter. And again, we choose this beam because it is the lightest beam with a section modulus greater than 500,000 millimeters raised to 3. So computing for the maximum moment, let us determine the actual stress in using this beam. So let's say we have the support reactions, new support reactions this time. So we may do a summation moment at A. The summation of moment at A equal to 0, assuming clockwise moments to be positive. So that is, we have 45. This is 45 multiplied by 4. Plus, the uniform load is 0.38 kilonewton per meter. Multiplied by the total span, that is 6 meters. So the equivalent single force of this uniformly distributed load, the self-weight of the beam is assumed to be acting midway or mid-length of the beam. So it is at a distance of 3 meters from A. 0.38 kilonewton per meter multiplied by 6 meters, that is the equivalent of the weight acting at a distance of 3 meters from A. Minus the reaction at B, this is multiplied by 6 meters equal to 0. So you have now the support reaction at B. We have 45, this is 45 by 4. Plus, we have 0.38. This is multiplied by 6, multiplied by 3 meters. To be divided by 6. So we have 31.14 kilonewtons. This is now 31.14 kilonewtons. Then for the support reaction at A, we may do summation of forces vertical equal to 0, assuming upward forces to be positive. So we have that is R sub A plus R sub B is 31.14 minus the concentrated load 45 kilonewtons minus the self-weight of the beam, that is basically equal to the uniform load 0.38 multiplied by the total span, that is 6 meters, equal to 0. So we have the reaction at A. This is 31 less 45 less the 0.38 multiplied by 0.38 multiplied by 6 meters. So that is 16.14. You have this is 16.14 kilonewtons. So these are the support reactions. Okay, let us draw the shear diagram. Okay, we have RA is equal to 16.14 kilonewtons. R sub B is equal to 31.14 kilonewtons. Okay, for the shear diagram, starting at 0, okay, we go up. We go up to a value of positive 16.14. Take note that this time we have a uniformly distributed load, and this is a 0 degree. The degree of this load is 0 degrees. So we'll be having a first degree. Let us do the summation. That is for a span of 4 meters. That is 16.14. We have 16.14 less the uniformly distributed load for a span 4 meters, that is 0.38 multiplied by 4. And this is now equal to 14.60. This is 14.62. So we have a magnitude of 14.62 kilonewtons. Okay, then we have a downward concentrated load of 45. So that is minus 45. And this is equal to negative 30.38. So we go down. Ito a value of negative 30.38. And then again, considering the uniformly distributed load, that is 0.38 kilonewton meter for a span of 2 meters. So that is minus, we have 0.38 multiplied by 2 meters. And that will give us negative 31.14. Okay, so going to point B, this is now negative 31.14. So at B, we have a support reaction of 31.14. If you do the summation, that will give us 0. So this is for our shear diagram. So this is our shear diagram. This time, our shear diagram is a first degree graph. For the moment, for our moment diagram, again, starting on the left end of the beam. So this is starting at 0. How do we compute for the moment at C this time? We have the moment at C is equal to the moment at A, plus the area of the shear diagram from A to C. So moment at A is equal to 0 since that is a simple support. This is 0. This time, this is a trapezoid for a span of, or for a length of 4 meters. So the area of a trapezoid, we have the parallel bases. This is 16.14 plus the 14.62. This is divided by 2. Then multiplied by the length of that segment is 4 meters. So we have that as 61.52. Okay, if you are to write that one, that is 16.14 plus the 14.62. This is divided by 2, multiplied by 4. This is the moment at C and the maximum moment is equal to 61. You have 61.52 kilonewton meter. So we have a very small increase in value compared to our previous analysis. From our previous analysis, our maximum moment is only 60 kilonewtons. So we have an increase of 1.52 if we are to consider the self-weight of the beam. But this is an important step to check if we don't really exceed the allowable bending stress. We have 61.52 kilonewton meter. So from A to point C, supposedly this is a curve graph. So from A to point C, it should be a second degree graph. A graph that opens downwards. It says a second degree graph. The magnitude is 61.52. Then, as a checking, what will be the moment at B? So from 61.52, we are just to subtract this negative area of the shear. So minus, that is also a trapezoid. We have 30.38 plus the 31.14. This is divided by 2. Multiplied by 2. That is 0 as a checking. So the moment at B is 0. So this is a curve that opens downwards. 0. This is for the moment diagram. But anyway, the important value is the maximum moment. The maximum moment for this beam will be equal to 61.52 kilonewton meter. Let us see if we are not to exceed the allowable a bending stress of 120 megapascals. So we have, this is now the actual stress, okay, the actual maximum bending stress. So actual bending stress, we are using small letter. So the actual bending stress is equal to the moment divided by the section modulus. We have the bending stress is, okay, what is our maximum moment? That is 61.52 kilonewton meter. And the 61.52 kilonewton meter. So we are just to convert this one, multiplying 1,000 newtons is to 1 kilonewton. And we have 1,000 millimeters is to 1 meter. So we have, this is to be divided by the section modulus of the chosen wide flange. That is 547. This is divided by 547 times 10 raised to 3 millimeters raised to 3. So doing unit analysis, cancelling kilonewtons, meter. So remaining unit is, we have Newton. This is mm cubed, mm. So remaining unit in the denominator will be mm squared. So that is Newton or newtons per square millimeter. So we have now the actual bending stress is equal to, okay, we have, that is the same as 61.52 multiplied by 1,000 squared. This is divided by the section modulus of the chosen section, 547 times 10 raised to 3. So we have the actual bending stress is 112.468. Newtons per square millimeters is, newtons per square mm is megapascal. To be safe, to have a safe design, the actual bending stress should be less than or equal to the allowable. So that is, we have the actual bending stress should be less than or equal to the allowable bending stress. So again, small letter for actual, capital letter for allowable. So our actual bending stress is 112.468. Obviously, this is less than the allowable bending stress, which is equal to 120 megapascals. So therefore, we can finally conclude that we can use the W 310 by 38.7 as the wide flange to carry the load. Considering the concentrated load, the 45 kilonewtons, and the self-weight of the beam. Take note, in actual design, we need to consider the self-weight of the structure. So this will be our solution.